Was
Y'all
good. Was
know how we
good.
do, man. As soon as them comments keep rolling in, we're gonna shout y'all out. Any questions, anything y'all want to talk about, just put it in the comments. Far as the phone lines, we'll see how how the show is going, whether we're gonna open up the phone lines or not. But let's just go ahead and rock and roll, man.
Hmm.
We could go ahead and start on this joint practice. Going into the joint practice, Uptown, you heard it just like I heard it about the Saints offense. Now we know training camp practices. You can't really conclude nothing or get all bent up out of shape about how somebody performing until them pads come on. Till you gonna get somebody new. Um, it was some concerns, quote unquote concerns about the offense. Coming from some reporters saying, they wasn't really executing in the red zone and just other areas of the offense, and there was different opinions on whether it was, they still come together, woo woo woo. But anyway, we fast forward to today, and the offense shows up well versus the Jazz in a joint practice. So we can start there, Uptown. Uptown, how you feeling about how the offense showed up against the Jazz in joint practice?
I was impressed, and it relieved a couple of concerns, that I had about the team. You know, well, one was a concern, and one was kind of like, I wish that what I was hearing was true, and the whole practice really ended up alleviating that. I don't want to. We're not going to really talk about the defense, but I have to say this, right, in terms of the defense. When we was going up against our defense in practice, and he was talking about how our defense was dominating, I was like, is our defense that good, or is our offense really struggling like that?
Right.
And that answered two questions for me today. First of all, we're gonna talk about the defense later, but the defense played well also. Okay. And they played real stout, which means that it must have been that they was playing against our defense as well in practice. Our first team offense going up against our defense, and apparently our defense is a lot better than what I thought and what many people may have thought, at least at this junction of the season. So yeah, I am impressed that they was able to go out against another defense, which was a pretty good defense, by the way, last season. Okay,
Right.
Jacksonville had a good defense last season, y'all. They wasn't trash. Okay, and they was able to show out and do some of the things that they was able to do. So I was very, very impressed with that, especially the fact that they played well in the red zone, which is an area that I've been hearing about them struggling a lot, you know, doing preseason. I mean, well, doing training camp. Uh, I mean, we just started just started the season.
Shout out to real Olivier scary videos.
All
Shout
right.
out to y'all.
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm scared to even let you up, bro. But but it is what it is. But yeah, but still in all, yeah, I think that yeah, I was very impressed with how we was able to perform against the Jaguars, and that was their first team against our first team. It was mano a mano.
Right.
So yeah, I was very impressed. I was impressed with the Tyler Shuck decision making. He didn't throw any interceptions or nothing today. The ball was not at risk, and I heard he officially moved the ball up the field, including taking some successful deep shots.
Correct. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna give it top five. They definitely was a top five run defense. The Jets last year, so they
Yeah.
looking to build on top of that. But I know this is practice, but the first team is getting their reps in this joint practice because the majority of them not going to be playing Saturday. So, right now, things is looking good, and they wasn't going up against no slouches. So, yeah, it's good to hear that the offense had a real good day running the ball well. Kamar running the ball well. Achan Olave was looking good. Like he is
Yeah,
some good clips on him.
yeah, they say
So
Olave was beasting it, man, today.
yeah.
They say he had a really good game, and they say his connection with Tyler Shuck looked real good today. So I'm
Now
impressed with that.
the
I also
person
said too.
no,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. I also heard too that that rookie Jeremiah Wright played well today too. Mm. All right, so so Caesar salad. You understand? So, ooh wee, if he continue to play good, and that then like they didn't, the Jaguars they pretty stout up front.
Yep.
Ooh wee, Caesar salad. Just continue doing what you're doing, Jeremiah Wright. You might just end up playing for the New Orleans Saints this season after all, if you know what I mean.
Right. Now,
So,
speaking of offense, let's just go ahead and get to the elephant in the room.
yeah.
Uh, Jordan Tyson. The Jordan Tyson went down today. Everybody, we all seen it. I don't know what the results gonna be. He was able to run off the field on his own. Cause for concern uptown. What you thinking? You thinking they need to? Because it's only a
I,
few weeks
if,
away
if,
from 100% go.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not concerned about that because I am, you know. But apparently, the Saints organization is not too concerned about it because they calling it a tweak of the hamstring. They're not calling it a pull hamstring or nothing like that. That's what they calling it, a tweak hamstring. I'm concerned because I'm like, man, is this man? I really wanted to see this man make it through this training camp without no hiccups whatsoever. And them hamstrings has been one of his bugaboos. You know what I'm saying? Throughout his career when he was at college. So I wanted to see him go out in preseason because I don't think that he earned no cachet around here yet where he don't have to play in no preseason game. Even though he was a first round draft pick. I wanted to see that, but I don't know if I'm going to see that now. Because I know what they're going to do. They're going to err on the side of caution when it comes down to him. I don't expect him to practice in the next maybe couple of practices or whatever. It may be a whole week or so before he practices again, for all we know. And those are valuable reps that he would need to be getting as a rookie. So that was the worst news. And I'm not saying that the world is crumbling or nothing like that. But that's kind of like the worst news that we can hear, you know. And so I'm glad that we have other wide receivers, that's playing well, even though the main guy that we need to play well is him, since we drafted him and stuff so high and all that. But what am I surprised, CB? No, no. Am I disappointed? Yes, very, very disappointed. Because them hamstring things, man, that's something that can linger, bro. You know, That's one of those injuries that can linger throughout the year.
Right.
So yeah, that sucks. Now I'm gonna see. That from what I heard, they say it was a tweak. Now we're going to see what kind of information that we get about that going further, into the season.
Right. So yeah, hopefully, man. Hopefully it was just real precaution just to take him out, and like I said, he was able to walk off on his own. So that's good news. But yeah, man, I hope this isn't something that's going to be continuous. Because if it is, man, I'm going to be highly disappointed, because just listening to him and you know listening to the upper chain, them talk about them getting him some little things outside the job that can work on his hamstrings, little procedures and stuff that he can get done, and then he's still having the same issue. Yeah, that's going to be a huge situation to worry about. But hopefully, man, these things can just get handled. Yeah, like you said, I'm not looking forward to seeing him practice, or at least not going 100% at least for another week. Um, we'll
Yeah,
see
I know.
the second preseason game looking, but yeah, man, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not excited to hear that news, but we just gotta wait and see, man. We know what the game of football brings, but yeah, man, I gotta see that guy play, because we see it. We see it when he out there running them routes. Like you can see it. You already know what we gonna get.
Yeah, I'm just man. It was just that was the worst news to come out of this practice today, man. It's not like I would prefer to see anyone injured. You understand? But we didn't. We definitely didn't need to be hearing about him being injured. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, bro. I'm just hoping that it's not as bad, you know, as suggested. That's what I'm hoping.
Right.
So, but we'll see what it do, bro. After that, you know what I'm saying. We'll see how that go and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, CB.
Right. So other than that, like I said, far as the receiver, Olave was really the only one. I know Vele caught a nice pass from Shuck. That's about all that I've heard, but I know as a collection they done good on that side of the ball. So um, looking forward to seeing more, even from the backups. I'm looking forward to seeing Barian Brown, Lorenzo Styles. They're gonna get some work Saturday. So yeah, the ones was looking good, but I'm looking forward to seeing the depth chart out there. The Trey Palmer, I'm pretty sure he gonna get some work too. So looking forward to seeing all these guys play. Mason. So
Yeah,
gonna be a
Lance.
good Saturday.
Lance, we need to see. I like to see him. I want to see what this dude Lorenzo Styles look like.
Yep.
You know, there's a plethora of people. I'm excited about seeing. And I was excited about seeing Jordan Tyson out there too. But
Right.
it
So
is what it is.
we can go to the other side of the football. They was looking good as well. I think the offense had the better day, but it is what it is. Both of them look good. But I want to start out with Chase Young. Chase Young made a comment in an interview, and he said he had 6 sacks.
Yeah,
So
I heard that our edge rushers was looking very very good today. Let's put it like that. In fact, they say our whole defense was looking good today, but up front in particular, they was dominating. Chase claimed that he had 6. You know, I'm not gonna argue with him. If he claimed he had 6, okay, I believe him. You had 6. You understand? When somebody say they say they counted 4 sacks for Chase. I think Granderson might have had another 2 sacks or something like that. They say he looked good today. And they even say the dude on the Wilson, the Wilson died, Tyree Wilson.
Yeah.
You know, they say he looked good today too. That's encouraging. That lets me know that they not just doing it to our offense either. You know, they did it to another offense too. You got to keep in mind, you know, they got a good offensive mind running the offense over there, that Liam Cohen dude. You know, so that's pretty good. I'm more impressed. I'm really more impressed with that than what the offense really did, you know, to be honest with you. Because, you know, defense is more reactionary.
And just speaking of Chase, man, we hadn't even seen his ceiling. So just imagine what he can do. What he done last season, that was not his ceiling. In my opinion, I don't think that's
No, no,
the best version we can get out of him. And he's
no,
still young.
because first of all, you know, he missed 6 games last season.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like it can't be your ceiling, especially when you miss 6 games, you know. And it's like I think we now benefiting and getting the player that the Washington Commanders thought they were getting, you know, initially when he was drafted. You know, I think he one of them cats that had to go through some adversity in his career to realize, you know, how talented he was and be able to maximize on those talents. You know, that's what I think happened, you know, with Chase, to be quite honest with you. And I think that we are paying, you know, we are benefiting from that. And Chase ain't even that old. I think Chase, what, 25, 26 years old, something like that?
I think he just turned 26.
You know, and he ain't even that old. So he ball out like that, I wouldn't feel apprehensive to give him another contract. You know, if he keep doing that. And it seemed like Chase has, you know, quietly became the leader of the defense now. So it seemed like, you know, now we got somebody who can lead our defense, you know, posts. Oh man, that's so good to see T Mama. Hey T Mama.
Shout out to T Mama.
Shout out to T Mama. Good to see you. You understand? So now we got somebody that can lead our defense posts, you know, Demario Davis and Cam Jordan. And I'm also hearing that Kool-Aid has took on the leadership role along with Caden Ellis. So yeah, man, that's good. You know, that's good to see. That's good to hear. That's all positive. Today was a good day, man, except for the fact that that boy, you know, leaving with what they call a tweak hamstring. You know, whatever the hell that means. I guess tomorrow we'll know more. And I guess they'll say, you know, how limited he will be throughout the course of the, you know, the rest of the training camp. I hope it's not something that's going to keep him out, you know, at the beginning of the season, because I'm hearing that, see, that hamstring stuff look like it's going around.
Right.
Because Cam Jordan supposedly got a messed up hamstring right now. And they saying that his hamstring is so severe that he may miss the start of the season. And anybody who knows that, they know that that does not sound right at all. That man has only missed 2 games in his whole career. Yep. One of them was due to COVID, and the other one was because he had a messed up eye socket or something, and he wanted to play, but they insisted that he didn't play. So, oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But It's not like we getting the worst end of the stick. Boy, these injuries around the league is kicking people's ass.
Yep.
So, I guess it's just like, just part of what we have to go through right now. I hope everybody else can remain healthy. We got to get through the season, man. I'm tired of us starting the season with, one or two important players, missing, valuable games because they injured. That has been occurring with us for the better part of the last 5 seasons.
Correct.
So whatever they have to do, man, to get this young man right, 'cause I thought they had him right. You understand? But whatever they got to do, man, they got to do it, man, so we can get him, into, the regular season and so he can start his career. I want to see him start his career off, on a positive note. So it is what it is when it comes down to that, CB. But in the meanwhile, right, they said that kicking thing still, it looked better today, those kickers. I heard they look better today, but nobody is in the clear-cut lead though.
That's crazy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm shocked they even having the kicking competition. Cause I thought Charlie sealed it last season.
Yeah, me too, bro. But they say Charlie, man, ain't looking all that hot, bro. One practice, they say he missed all 3 of his kicks.
Nah, but I think he started drinking his Kool-Aid too much, man.
Yeah, he is. But like the dude that's pushing him, he's not killing it either. So like one of these dudes need to catch on fire, and sometime soon, in order for us to feel, comfortable about the kicking game, going into this regular season. Correct. So that is what it is. So anybody got any questions over there?
Shout out to Dakari Hammond said he said I think Kendre doesn't make the roster.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think that too, bro.
Yeah.
He's missing far too many practices now. And the way that I heard that Audric Estime has supplanted him, as a 3rd string back right now.
That's what
I'm hearing. So that means Estime has overtaken Kendre and Devin Neal.
I thought Devin Neal, this was gonna be I thought the second year he was gonna, step up. Now I had him eventually getting into that 1-2 punch, but I didn't know we was gonna go get Achane and then bring AK back.
Mm-hmm.
But even with them two, I was thinking that he was gonna be that 3rd back.
And the thing that's hampering him is a damn hamstring. Another hamstring on another. I mean, damn. Hamstrings is kicking our ass right now. Hamstrings and ACLs kicking our ass right now. So and that's the reason why Devin Neal has lost, some positioning. And then these dudes, they talking about what's the dude name? Let me see what's his name. The running back. I think the cat that came from Ohio State. I think his name may be Donaldson. Yeah, Donaldson. You understand? Those cats, man, they got a tremendous, opportunity ahead of them, man, to supplant somebody. You understand? They can make it they can probably make it onto the roster. And maybe Devin Neal, go to the practice squad. You know, I mean, they got a tremendous opportunity, man. To hit, might not win them. I mean, if they can do that, Devin Neal can probably go to the practice squad, and they probably gonna just straight up cut Kendre. You know, but something, bro, Kendre is one of them kind of dudes, right? And I don't like to say what I'm gonna say right now. We gonna cut him, and he gonna go somewhere, and he gonna produce somewhere else. Watch.
And he gonna be healthy. He gonna be fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But even if he have a good preseason, just say I don't know if he playing Saturday or not, but if he's available to play and just say he get in there and just start turning up, I still think they're gonna release him, and then the team gonna take a chance on him, of course.
Well, you see, he's really behind the eight ball, really, because Kellen didn't draft that. His regime didn't like quote unquote draft him. You know what I'm saying? He don't have he really don't have no loyalty or whatever, to him. We don't even know if Kendre Miller really plays any kind of a significant role, in what he wants to do on offense, really. So it was up to Kendre Miller to go out there and impress, and make that decision hard for Kellen Moore and Mickey Loomis and all of them when it comes down to you. But you just can't stay healthy, bro. And like, people don't, even if he does, and I think that he may do that, because I really see the talent in that dude, But you can't really blame the Saints. They stuck it out with him and stuck it out with him and stuck it out with him. But every time, man, we knew how that story was going to end. I think this dude, man, I think in the 3 years that he been with the Saints, I think he played 7 games.
That's crazy.
Understand? Yeah, that's very, very crazy. When you think about it. He's been injured just that much. And then last season, you think that he was going, he playing and all that and this, that, and the third. The next thing you know, he get injured and stuff in the damn Bears game. And I ain't even see how he got in. I still don't know how he got injured. Still to this day. CB, I don't remember the play or nothing. All I know is that they came back talking about he left with a knee injury. That's how that broadcast went. And that's it. And then the next thing you know, the next day we was told that he had tore his ACL. So I don't know what to say about that dude, bro. People, making waves and stuff, on him, bro. So it is what it is.
Facts.
So that's how we feel about Kendre and his issue out there.
I wanna discuss let's discuss one thing. Let's talk about who are some names that we expected to hear about coming into this training camp. We really ain't heard too much. I'm gonna start with one. I'm gonna say a name that we can talk about him. Stutzman. Really ain't heard too much of Stutzman yet. No, Saturday I'm pretty sure he gonna get his get his fair share. But what is your expectations for Stutzman? Do you think he's in the rotation this year? Pete ain't heard nothing on him. He's out there running around with Kate Nelson, so I'm assuming they got him penciled in to start. But Stutzman, what is your thoughts on him? How you think he gonna play out?
Stutzman been getting a lot of rotation, bro. You ain't been hearing about him, but the way I hear that in practice, that it's the same way that it was last season, at the end of last season, where he was being rotated in a lot, for Pete, that has been occurring a lot in practice. This may be one of those situations, CB, where no news is good news. You understand what I'm saying? It may be one of those type of things. Because I haven't been hearing about nobody. I haven't been hearing about poor linebacking play none this, this training camp at all. So either Pete and Stutzman and Stallberg and Ford and Caden Ellis, apparently they know what, Brandon Staley wants to do, because absolutely nobody, no Saints media has talked about poor linebacker play. None this training camp. So, like I say, this may be one of those situations where no news is good news. But I have heard that he has been rotating in regularly with Pete with Pete on Pete's side, and that we expect to see that when the regular season occurs. So I think that that this dude Stutzman really encapsulates what Brandon Staley wants to do on defense. But I think that they trying to slowly get Stutzman in, so he can understand what's going on. And they just kind of leaning on some of the veteran expertise of Pete Warner.
Okay. See, we got
oh man, something.
Oh, that's Panther Nasty, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good for Panther Nasty, bro. You know what's better than that. You can't even say that, bro, especially when we gave y'all. I don't know what kind of broom we gave them last season. Was it the push broom?
Oh yeah, we definitely gave him the push broom.
Was it the regular broom?
They gave him the push broom. What a rookie quarterback.
Was it the broom Hilda?
Really? Yeah, and really that was Shuck's second game, I believe. Second game.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of broom y'all got, bro. But you understand? And then your boy Horn, right? Stop putting him on Olave. Olave embarrasses him and makes him look stupid all the time. He cannot check him. P Nasty. Keep him off from Olave. Olave embarrasses that boy all the time. And your boy little Bryce, we good at making him make mistakes. So shut up. And watch us do our work. You understand?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think I think Haynes King can give Bryce Young a run for his money. The Georgia Tech quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can give Bryce a run for his money.
See, bro, they know they don't give a damn about little Bryce.
No.
Little Bryce ain't even getting no contract or nothing yet, bro. Y'all just picked up his fifth-year option, and that's it.
Come on, what other QB getting their fifth-year option picked up?
Y'all don't even believe in that little pump. And don't tell me that I don't know about how much of a chump he is either, man. Because he played in the SEC and shit with my LSU Tigers. He been a buster. So stop it, man. You cut that out, bro. I'm surprised you ain't even in all these years. I thought you probably would have started rooting for another team by now.
That's wild. Oh yeah, we're gonna see them. We're gonna see them this year. But yeah, Bryce ain't. I think Haynes King can get him a run for his money at that spot.
Mm-hmm. I thought he might have been calling himself Cowboy Nasty now or something. Or Yuck Nasty. You understand? Right about now.
Shout out to RG Venom in the building. Shout out to you, fam.
What's up, Venom? Yeah, man, let's get back to work, man. Where we was at, man, with this. You
Let's
understand?
we
Let
can
me
get
say
on the
somebody who named too, bro. Another name, that I expected to hear a lot of, right? And maybe this is a thing of no news is good news too. But I thought that I would hear more about Sankia, his training camp too.
Oh, okay.
I did, you know, since he playing, such an important, position right now in the defense, and that was a position that we all, discussed a lot, you know, before the draft and all that. I thought I would be hearing his name, a lot. I'm not hearing his name in a negative way either. So, like I said, it might be one of those things too, CB, where no news is good news. You know?
Facts.
So,
So let's get on the head coach before we wrap this up. Kellen Moore. This is year 2. Do we be patient? Do we be patient another 4 season, or are we going to be patient about halfway, and then if things is not going well, we start putting that fire to Kellen Moore?
I think, bro, I still think it would be unfair. I always give coaches, especially new coaches, 3 seasons, bro. Your third season, you know. Your first season,
Right.
I think you're really trying to clean up from what happened previously. That's a cleanup year. So you got to almost like throw that season kind of out of the way. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're cleaning up mess. Your second season is when you making your players, having them to understand that you have a vision, you have a culture that you're trying to set inside the locker room and stuff like that. You understand? Your third season, people should know what the hell is you all about. Your program, both on and off the field, should be implemented by then.
Yep.
And that's when you should get the fire, to your feet. You understand what I'm saying? That's how that goes. You
That's
know.
fast. And
So
then this is his first time being a head coach in the league. So it ain't like this is you
you
know,
see,
a McCarthy or something like that that's done coached before. And he just no, Kellen Moore's his first time ever coaching in the NFL. I'm talking about head coach.
as a head coach.
Yeah.
And I see what you're saying, Venom. DA didn't get that same grace because DA was a head coach before. And
Yeah.
another thing too is that DA had the luxury of staying with the same continuity, if you will. You understand? He already had the same system was in place, when he was, an assistant coach. So that's why his punk ass don't get he don't get the benefit of the doubt like that. There was a culture and all that was already established here.
Yeah, he a great coordinator, but yeah, head coaching that wasn't his forte.
And
Yeah,
that worked.
that's you. The way you mentioned it was perfect. The 3 year system, like you said, first year you gotta weed everything out. You got like a Kendrick, just say like a Kendrick Miller, that wasn't a Kellen Moore pick. So we
hmm
can't. We can't sit here, even if he's having a good camp and Kellen Moore got rid of him. That's not Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore didn't get that guy in the draft. So just stuff like that. You clear house year 2. You building your culture, you letting people know what you're about. Then year 3, everybody should know what you about. You got your draft, it's all you, and you got year 2 guys coming in. You done been able to have 2 off seasons to get free agents. So yeah, that's a great approach to take. I'm not gonna overreact this year because um in the way Kellen Moore done it with the QBs, he let Tyler Shuck grow. I mean, he let them grow on his own, like not need no big bro, not need like a big bro, like a vet QB to kind of coach
Mhm.
him along and stuff. He letting Shuck figure it out.
And I kind of like that, bro, because
Yep.
I've always been a strong believer in that the stuff that you figure out on your own is stuff that is more valuable. You understand that you know it's stuff that you become better at. When you stuff that you figure out on your own. When you're listening to other people and you're picking up their habits, sometimes they habits, whether good or bad, is not really good for you. You know what I'm saying? And the benefit that Shuck has is that he got, 3 former NFL quarterbacks in that locker room. Kelly Moore played quarterback, you know. Doug Nussmeier played quarterback. Scott Tolzien played quarterback,
Yep.
you know. So the quote unquote veteran quarterback leadership that he needed is actually coming from the coaching staff. So now, that's pretty good to have. And I'm kind of glad that he has that, and he also said that he talks to, that he talks to Drew Brees on a regular, that can help him out too, you know, especially when you're talking to a Hall of Fame quarterback, P Nasty, huh? Now that we got that out the way, now that this show is out the way, I can clown you for about 5 minutes.
who they greatest ever quarterback? Jake Delhomme?
No, their greatest ever, to be honest with you, is Pam Newton.
Oh man.
You see, bro? Cut it out, man. Go away. You know you don't want none of this. You know how that movie ends all the time. And y'all been knowing it. Do not try to troll us. That is not going to work. We got another gold jacket, bro. Huh? Another one. And this one is a quarterback. Stop it. T Mama, tell them to stop it, okay? I don't want to hurt their feelings. I really, really do not want to hurt none of y'all feelings. Y'all know I can and I will. CB been knowing me for a long time now. And he know I don't give a damn.
Facts.
Stop it, bro. You understand? Cause Tyler he punked y'all twice. You understand? Stop it, bro. Y'all don't want these problems. You understand? Y'all don't want none of these problems, bro. Cut it out. And that's all I got for him right now, CB. He know better than that. Trust me, he knows better than that. And he knows, I know that he knows better than that.
Yeah.
Woo-wee.
It's just interesting to see certain cats pop back up. P
Yeah.
Nasty, we've been knowing him for years. He
Mhm.
been missing for years, and then I don't know what made them pop up now. Like they about to,
He probably think that they're a little good or something.
yeah.
They paid all that money for that defense that they got this off season that we gonna light up. We gonna light that defense up, man, like it's the 4th of July. You understand what I'm saying? Boy, we gonna light y'all up, man, like a rap song coming from Lil Kim. Bruh, man, you cut it out, bruh. You cut it out. And the only reason why you ain't getting it really bad is because you a punk ass Panther fan. Now, boy, just imagine if you was a Falcon. I would be talking about you like a dog right now. If you was a Falcon fan, the CB would have to say, hey, come on, Uptown, we got to stop the live now. That's what he would be saying. That's what he would be begging me to do, because I'll be talking about you like you're a dog right now. But y'all ain't never been nothing. You understand? And by the way, man, thank you for that statue that y'all got in front of y'all stadium of that famous saint. We love to see that when we come there every time. But that's about it. We can go on and get up out of here now, CB. Hey, y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We ain't gonna take no calls tonight. We'll take some calls after we do our next live, which should be sometime soon. We're not gonna make it all that long, okay?
Yeah, we got the preseason game Saturday, so
yeah, we probably gonna try and come back here Sunday if we could, take and recap what we saw in the preseason game and all that kind of stuff. You dig?
Right. So be on the standby.
Be on the standby. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You understand? Look out for us. Like, comment, subscribe. The whole nine. You understand? And y'all let people know, right, that we ain't going nowhere. That this tag team, that we still got the belts. Me and CB still have the belts. We still the champions. Okay? And until somebody beat us, we still gonna be the champions. You understand? When it comes down to this Saint stuff, bro, we the best tag team in the league. But it is what it is, all right? So you have anything else to say, CBZ?
Man, I just want to thank the listeners for tuning in. Just like, subscribe, follow the page, man. And on Saturday, we got some action. We got some action coming, so we're gonna be able to see these guys like Lorenzo, Mason Tipton, a whole plethora of players that we've been talking about, rookies we want to see, Barry Brown. I definitely want to see you on special teams, but I want to see you get some reps at receiver, which you will. You done earned it. So it's just a lot to be excited for, to watch. Just because the starter's not playing, man, we got a whole lot of football to be watching, because anywhere from a starter to somebody fighting to get on the team could be in the rotation this season. That's just where our team is at now. That's not a bad thing, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing these pieces play to begin their journey. So it's exciting. And far as the next the recap of the show, we're gonna shoot for Sunday. If not, we'll do Monday, but we'll let y'all know. So just be on standby. Once again, just like, subscribe, follow the page. This is the WDN Chatline Podcast, and we out. Who that?
Who that, baby? For life.